What if I told you that you're not waiting on God, but God is waiting on you? That everything you've been searching for in the world, validation, strength, purpose, power, is not out there. It's already in you. The question is not whether you have what it takes. The question is, do you have the courage to uncover it? You were never sent to earth empty. God is not careless or random. When He designed you, He placed within you every resource, talent, gift, and potential required for your assignment on earth. You are not an accident. You are not incomplete. You are not waiting to be filled. You are waiting to be awakened. Too many people live their entire lives in search of something that's already in their possession. Like a king living as a beggar because he never realized his true identity, many are crying out for help, unaware that the answer is buried within their own soul. You don't invent your greatness, you discover it. And discovery begins when you stop looking at others and start looking inward. The seed of greatness does not come from education, popularity, or wealth. It was deposited in you by your Creator before you ever took your first breath. You were born loaded. Every gift you'll need, every idea, every solution, every ounce of courage, it's already in the warehouse of your spirit, waiting for permission to emerge. And yet, the tragedy is that most people die with their treasure still locked inside. Not because it was never there, but because they never believed it was. They waited for approval. They waited for a sign. They waited for someone to tell them they were enough. But your value isn't determined by opinion, it was established in eternity. There's a reason your dreams don't go away. There's a reason that vision still burns inside you. There's a reason life feels empty when you ignore that inner call. It's because you are more than what you've settled for. Deep down, your spirit knows there is more, and it's not found in someone else's hands. It's inside you. You were born to solve a problem, to meet a need, to leave a mark that no one else can. Your hidden strength was placed within you for a divine purpose. It may be dormant, but it's not dead. It's simply waiting for your agreement. The day you decide to believe what God already knows about you is the day your transformation begins. You are not here to merely survive, you are here to rule. You are not here to borrow identity, you are here to express the full measure of what's already encoded in your design. The key to unlocking your hidden strength is not striving, but surrender. Surrender to the truth that you were already enough before you started. It's time to stop doubting what heaven has confirmed. It's time to stop hiding behind excuses and unlock what's been buried too long. The world doesn't need another copy, it needs you, the real you. So rise up, not with fear, but with the confidence that everything you need, you already have. We often pray for strength, but avoid the very conditions that produce it. The truth is, your greatest qualities, gifts, and treasures are not revealed in your comfort zones, they are exposed in your crisis moments. Diamonds don't form on the surface of the earth, they are created miles below, under intense heat and pressure. In the same way, your hidden strength doesn't rise when everything is easy. It is born when life squeezes you. Pressure doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to introduce you to yourself. When life gets tight, when relationships fail, when finances collapse, when doors close, these are not signs that you're finished. They are often divine signals that something deeper within you is ready to emerge. What comfort hides, crisis uncovers. The real version of you, the strong, bold, gifted, and unshakable you, often doesn't show up until you're backed into a corner with no options but growth. Everyone admires strength, but no one wants the struggle that produces it. Yet, God often wraps your next level in a package called pain. He allows seasons of pressure not to punish you but to awaken something that would otherwise remain dormant. A seed never becomes a tree without being buried, broken, and pressed by soil. Likewise, your destiny will never manifest without you first being pressed beyond your limits. And when you think you're at your breaking point, that's usually when breakthrough is knocking. Don't curse the pressure. Learn from it. Because pressure reveals your potential. What if the hardship you're facing is the exact tool designed to unlock your next dimension? What if your trial is actually a teacher? Your frustration could be fertilizing your future. Your tears might be watering something you can't see yet. Just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean you're unqualified. It might mean you're being prepared. Stop asking for a life without pain, and start asking for vision through the pain. Stop trying to escape the process and start embracing the product it's producing in you. The strength you're praying for isn't going to fall from the sky, it's going to rise from within you through endurance, persistence, and faith in the middle of pressure. We often want resurrection without crucifixion. We want success without stress. But the anointing to rise comes through the agony of pressing through the dark. There is treasure buried in your adversity, wisdom you couldn't learn from books, courage that can't come from applause, and faith that only grows when everything else fails. So, the next time you feel pressed, don't panic. Pause and remind yourself, buried treasure is found in places most people avoid. And if you're feeling the weight of pressure, it may be because something priceless is trying to come forth. This is your moment to stop resisting and start responding. Let the pressure purify your motives. Let it shape your character. Let it squeeze out the fear and stir up your boldness. Because on the other side of pressure is always purpose. And when you endure it, you'll realize you weren't breaking down. You were breaking through. One of the greatest tragedies in life is to live below what you were created to become. Many people define themselves by what they have done or failed to do. But you are not your past actions. You are not the limited results you've seen so far. What you've done is only a glimpse of what you're capable of doing. Your current performance is not the measure of your full potential. It's only a snapshot of where you are, not where you are destined to go. Potential is invisible energy power that has not yet been converted into results. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. You must stop using your past as the ceiling of your future. Just because you haven't seen it manifest doesn't mean it's not already within you. What's possible for you is still unfolding. There are gifts inside you that haven't been unwrapped, ideas that haven't been expressed, and levels you haven't yet touched, not because they're missing, but because they're still dormant. We are often trained to evaluate ourselves by achievements, numbers, accolades, and recognition. But the Creator never measures your value by what the world calls success. You were not born to impress people, you were born to fulfill a divine assignment. And your potential is always calling you higher. What you have accomplished is good, but it is not final. There is more. There's always more. You are a masterpiece in motion, and your future has not been cancelled by your past. Your past mistakes are not powerful enough to erase your divine design. What happened before is information, not identity. Don't confuse your current situation with your ultimate destination. You are not what you've done, you are what you were designed to do. The problem is, we often stop reaching because we've failed before. We settle for average because we've been disappointed. But potential requires pursuit. It grows as you stretch. If you don't push beyond what you've done, you'll never discover who you really are. Every invention you admire, every building you walk into, every business that amazes you, all of them existed first as unseen potential. Likewise, your future achievements are already alive inside you in seed form. But seeds don't become forests unless they are planted, nourished, and developed. The truth is, you have been given more than you are currently using. The ideas you've put on hold, the talents you've neglected, the dreams you buried under fear, these are the very things that hold your next level. Stop comparing your journey to others. Stop limiting your vision to your track record. Destiny is not a matter of background, it's a matter of belief and bold action. If you can shift how you see yourself, you can shift what becomes possible. You are capable of far more than you've ever done. Don't retire your dreams based on yesterday's failures. Get up, think higher, Dig deeper. You were born with more in you than the world has seen. Let this be the season you stop living by your performance and start living from your potential. The most dangerous person on earth is not the one with power, status, or wealth. It is the one who has discovered who they are. The enemy's greatest fear is not your past, not your mistakes, not even your potential. What he fears most is that you will wake up and realize what you already carry. The battle intensifies at the door of your discovery, because once you know who you are, you become unstoppable. Darkness can only dominate what stays unaware of its identity. The attacks on your life didn't begin when you failed. They began when you showed signs of awakening. Your confusion, delays, and constant discouragement didn't come because you were weak, but because you are dangerous. If you've been fighting unusual warfare, it may be because you're close to unlocking something that changes everything. The enemy does not waste ammunition on people who pose no threat. Your resistance is proof of your relevance. The louder the battle, the greater the treasure on the other side. Your identity is a weapon, and the moment you begin to question it, darkness gains ground. That's why the enemy works overtime to distract you, define you by your flaws, or keep you chasing false purposes. He will use rejection, failure, busyness, and even religion to keep you from stillness, because in stillness, you hear truth. And when you hear the voice of truth, the fog lifts. When you discover why you were created, confusion loses its grip. The key to your future is not finding more, it is awakening to what's already there. You were designed with divine intention. Your design is not an accident, your gifts are not random, and your passion is not irrelevant. Everything about you was tailored to fulfill a specific purpose on earth. When you embrace that, you start to operate in authority. You no longer react to life, you govern it. You no longer beg for validation, you live from identity. And that kind of clarity terrifies every system built on control, fear, and lies. Your awakening is not just about you, it's about everyone connected to your obedience. The people you are called to impact are waiting. When you rise, others rise. When you live boldly, you give others permission to do the same. This is why the enemy wants you to stay small, distracted, and confused. Because your light exposes his deception, and your courage breaks cycles and generations. But the good news is this: the moment you begin to seek truth, truth begins to fight for you. You don't have to have it all figured out, you just have to say yes to the process. The enemy cannot stop your calling. He can only try to delay your discovery. And once you see it, once you taste what it means to live from purpose, you'll never go back. That's why you must press forward even when it hurts, even when you're afraid. Because on the other side of this battle is a version of you the world has never seen, and the enemy hopes never will. Power without direction is wasted energy, and direction without purpose is motion without meaning. Many people are exhausted, not because they lack strength, but because they have no alignment. When you find your true purpose, strength that was lying dormant inside of you begins to rise. Purpose is not just a motivational slogan, it is spiritual fuel. You were never designed to simply survive. You were created to function according to design. And design speaks to purpose. Until you understand the reason for your existence, your full power remains inactive. People spend their entire lives chasing opportunities, positions, promotions, thinking those things will empower them. But positions without purpose lead to frustration. Recognition without reason leads to burnout. True strength is not found in what you do, but in why you do it. You can have all the skills, all the resources, all the chances, but if they are disconnected from your divine purpose, they will never bring fulfillment. But the moment your activity aligns with your assignment, a power you didn't know you had begins to move. This is why some people in low positions carry greater impact than others with influence and money. Purpose gives weight to your words. It multiplies your actions. It puts divine force behind your natural steps. When you walk in purpose, heaven backs your movement. Even when obstacles rise, you move through them with unusual grace. That's not charisma, it's calling. It's not talent, it's clarity. Purpose gives birth to a kind of power that doesn't come from titles or applause. It's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing why you were born. Many are praying for power when they should be praying for purpose. Because once you align with purpose, power is the natural result. Purpose clarifies your priorities. It organizes your energy. It gives you the strength to say no to distractions and yes to destiny. And that's where your real effectiveness begins, not in how much you do, but in how aligned you are. You don't need to try to be strong, you were created with strength. But that strength is coded into your assignment. Until you step into it, your power stays hidden. Purpose is not a luxury, it's a necessity. You were designed with intentionality. Every gift, every trait, every pain, and passion in your life is part of a larger story. When you stop asking, "What can I do?" and start asking, "Why am I here?" you shift from activity to destiny. Purpose is not found in busyness, it's discovered in seeking. And once you found it, you no longer live to impress people, you live to fulfill the vision stamped on your soul. Don't wait for a platform to pursue purpose. Your power is not waiting on popularity, it's waiting on obedience. The smallest step toward your true calling activates strength that religion, routine, and routine success could never unlock. And the world is not changed by those who are merely busy, it's changed by those who are aligned. Purpose is not just your reason for being, it's the power waiting to be awakened. And it's already in you. The soil never reveals treasure to the one who stares at it. You can pray over the ground, cry over it, even shout at it, but unless you dig, nothing will move. Many people are waiting for the perfect moment, the right conditions, the ideal confirmation, but purpose doesn't respond to hesitation. Power isn't released by delay. You must dig. You must seek. You must move toward what is hidden, trusting that what you need will be found as you go. Strength is not revealed in comfort zones. It is drawn out in faith zones. You'll never discover what's inside you if you're always waiting for something outside of you to change. You've been given the seed of greatness, but seeds require action, movement, cultivation. God will not force you to grow. He will not push you into your destiny. He invites you to pursue it. And every time you take a step toward what He placed in you, something inside of you begins to wake up. We often ask for a sign before we move, but God often gives strength after we move. Strength multiplies when you move in faith. Doors don't always open first, you may have to walk until they do. The greatest revelations come not before the journey, but during it. And the truth is, there is no such thing as perfect timing when it comes to your calling. If you wait until everything aligns, you'll never move. Faith doesn't wait for clarity. It creates it. You will never uncover hidden treasure while standing still. The enemy of your potential is passive waiting. We often mask fear as wisdom, delay as discernment. But hesitation is often just fear in disguise. Digging requires trust. It means getting your hands dirty. It means risking failure. But nothing grows where nothing is sown, and nothing is found where nothing is searched. There's gold inside you. Talent, wisdom, creativity, solutions, leadership, innovation, it's all buried beneath layers of fear, doubt, excuses, and culture. But gold is never found lying on the surface. That's why so few ever find it. They're not willing to dig. They're waiting for applause before they act, for money before they move, for support before they start. But the greatest callings began with empty hands and obedient hearts. Start with what you have. Start where you are. Speak even if your voice shakes. Build even if the plan isn't finished. Trust that if God placed it in you, He will strengthen it as you walk. If you dig, He'll guide the shovel. If you knock, He'll open. But don't sit there hoping for miracles while refusing to move your feet. Miracles meet movement. Digging isn't glamorous. It's often quiet, lonely, unseen. But those who dig consistently are the ones who eventually uncover the power within. The difference between those who fulfill their potential and those who don't is not brilliance, it's movement. So don't wait. Start digging. Your destiny is buried under the ground you're afraid to touch. But everything you need is waiting on the other side of obedience.